Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The question is, I live in a very un-Islamic society. I'm bombarded with un-Islamic customs all around me, and I'm slipping, or I'm bound to slip. What can I do? Well, the thing is, the first thing you have to do, and the only thing is, you have to really ask God for help. There's a story that helps me that I remember. One time there was a saint, and he asked his disciple that if you go to your friend's house and your friend has a dog, right, and you notice that the dog is not wearing its leash, and when you come to the door, the dog starts barking at you. He's like, "What would you do?" So the disciple was like, I'll try to like hush the dog away. I'll try to like kick it away. The saint didn't ask him that. Okay, that doesn't work. So then what do you do? He's like, then what I'm gonna do is I'll ask my friend to come and control his dog. He's like, exactly. He's like, Satan is God's dog. So when you feel tempted, ask God to come in. And that's what we need to do. Every single namaz, we recite Surah Fatiha. And Surah Fatiha is an extremely powerful prayer. Especially when we say, Ihdina Siratul Mustaqim. So we say, Iyaka na'budu, that, oh Allah, we worship you, we're weak. Wa iyaka nasta'in, we ask you for help. Ihdina Siratul Mustaqim. Guide us on the right path. Mustaqim also means the path of steadfastness. And the word steadfast actually means that, you have this one route and you have this path and you just remain on that path. And you don't falter. Regardless of how difficult that path becomes, you still remain on that path. You're asking God that, God, keep me on that path. Right? So reciting Surah Fatiha over and every single namaz, when we recite Surah Fatiha with this in mind, that God, I am weak. Like, I enjoy talking to girls. I enjoy hanging out with my friends who are like indulged in smoking weed, or they're indulged in drinking alcohol, and I'm influenced. And I don't feel like praying and this and that. What do? You always ask God for help. That's when Satan's attacking you. And that's when you need to call upon God to take care of his dog. And one of the best prayers that God has taught us is Surah Fatiha. You know that all praise belongs to Allah, Lord of all the worlds, the gracious, the merciful, Master of the day of judgment. You alone do we worship, and you alone do we ask for help. Guide us in the right path. So a person who keeps praying to God, will God leave them? No, he won't. God says that, call upon me and I'll come near you. So it's very, very important that, we in order to tackle all the evil, in order to tackle all the un-Islamic customs, we remain steadfast. And we can't remain steadfast on our own. We need God's help. And it's very important every single day when going to school, right? When going to work, when going to university, it's important to drop some prayers. In the morning while driving, people can drop prayers. Especially the last three surahs of the Holy Quran. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that, recite the last three surahs of the Quran and blow on yourself before going to sleep. And if you read the last three surahs, the first surah, Kullu Wallahu Ahad, that's talking about the oneness of God. And then Kul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq and Kul A'udhu Birabbin Nas, you're basically asking God for protection against evil, for protection against Satan and his mischief. Right? So all those temptations that arise in our heart, we're trying to protect ourselves from those things. This is why it's extremely important that when we go to school, yes, we are bombarded with with things that are un-Islamic, and it's so common. Like, I remember when I went to school, my teachers, they were dating. Dating was all around me. Um, Obviously now we have alcohol and weed, and there's all sorts of vices that are around us, but we have to go to school as well. So how do we tackle that? The only way to tackle that, the only way to protect ourselves is to ask God every single day. When you recite Surah Fatiha, remember, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina siratul mustaqim. And then you pray Siratal lazina anamta alayhim, the path of those whom you have bestowed your blessings. And the Prophet ﷺ has explained that this means the prophets. Prophets were also tempted. Hazrat Yusuf was also tempted, but God saved them from temptation. Right? So we're asking God that, God, make us walk on the path of those people who were who were close to you. And غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين, not of those who have gone astray, and not of those who have incurred your displeasure and those who have gone astray. So Allah Ta'ala, don't make me of those people who did such actions that you know what, you became angry with them, or you know they went away from the straight path. So this is something that really helps us. Surah Fatiha is a beautiful prayer. Astaghfar again, you know, astaghfar. Every single morning, just pray in your own words. I know Hazrat Khatam Masih Khamis bin Allah be his helper. I mentioned to someone that pray in your own words because you'll pray with a lot of pain. That God save me. I'm weak. I'm gonna be tempted, right? I'm gonna go out there. If a girl talks to me, I'm gonna be tempted to you know, like to speak to her, and we might even become close. So the one thing we have to do is make God our protection every single day. What's going to happen is not only will God protect you, but also you will increase in your spirituality every single day as well. Jazakallah.
है दस्ते क़िबला नुमा है दस्ते क़िबला नुमा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह